Special ceremonies, a commemorative coin and stamp, and Pakistan's highest civilian honor for the visiting Chinese vice premier as the two countries celebrate a decade of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC, part of Beijing's so-called Belt and Road Initiative.
I think this was a game changer.
It has set an example of mutual trust and common development.
Both governments say China has so far invested close to $25 billion in the project, launched in 2013, to revive Pakistan's economy and create a new market for Chinese companies.
At that time, we had a lot of terrorism. There was a lot of turmoil, and it wasn't seen as one of the best places to invest, particularly. And China reposed its trust in Pakistan at that time.
The Pakistani government says CPEC has so far created 200,000 jobs, built more than 1,400 kilometers of highways and roads, and added 8,000 megawatts of electricity to the national grid. And in the past 18 months, the country's deep-sea southwestern port of Gwadar has handled 600,000 tons of cargo. But observers say CPEC has not turned Pakistan's economy around. And now, Islamabad owes nearly one-third of its overwhelming external debt to Beijing.
A lot of that infrastructure came at a fairly high cost, and a lot of that borrowing was essentially in dollar terms and fairly higher than market terms. So because of that, Pakistan continues to make significant dollar payments for that Chinese debt.
But Khan, like many others in Pakistan, rejects the idea of a Chinese debt problem. Instead, he blames Islamabad for mismanaging resources. Beijing also denies Washington's accusation that it traps countries in debt in the guise of investment. Syed says Pakistan has plenty of say in CPEC projects through the Joint Coordination Committee that includes both Chinese and Pakistani officials.
So this perception of China coming in by predatory financing and weakening a host country and then gaining political control there is unfounded.
Khan says Pakistan chose development over debt.
The choice was simply whether to have a power plant or whether to have 12 to 15 hours of electricity shutdowns. Yes, CPEC did provide Pakistan a lot of necessary base level infrastructure that's required for industrial growth. Meanwhile, Western countries have not been able to provide the same over the last many years.
A 2021 report by US-based research lab Aid Data found that China spends over 8 times more in Pakistan than the United States does. Chinese loans are geared toward hard infrastructure, while the US spends more on governance and social infrastructure, according to the report. Experts say to lessen the debt burden from CPEC, Pakistan must efficiently use the energy and infrastructure it acquired through the mega project and strengthen its domestic production and exports. Sara Zaman, VOA News, Islamabad.